To the podcast. Just search for Hancock and Kelly.
Former President Donald Trump insists he won Tuesday night's debate against Vice President Kamala Harris. Most pundits on both sides of the political aisle disagree. Both candidates got their digs in.
The worst vice president in the history of our country.
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people.
Harris, the Democrat, seemed to do a much better job of getting under her Republican opponent's skin. Her remarks about his being fired in the last election and people getting bored at his campaign rallies and leaving early clearly irritated Donald Trump, who repeated an apparent urban myth that migrants were eating people's pet dogs and cats in Springfield, Ohio. Still Kelly, or Michael Kelly, I'll just call you by your last name.
Hey now.
Yeah. She's getting criticism for dodging questions on her big bugaboo issues, the economy, inflation, the border crisis.
People who are looking for criticisms of Kamala Harris and what happened in that debate last night are grasping, or this week. The reality is since she's come into this campaign, you guys, she has been flawless. She's not made mistakes. And in this debate was the perfect example. She executed a flawless strategy. Donald Trump came in those first 10 minutes. He had an opportunity to really set the table and did quite well. And Kamala Harris came up with the strategy and implemented it. Now, how do you deal with Donald Trump? You force him to talk about himself. And we all were on the edge of our seats, right? The second they brought up crowd sizes, you knew when it was going back, we were going to watch him light the match and put himself on fire.
Hey, Hancock.
Yes.
I'm calling everybody by their last name. Should she be getting more of a bump from this if she did that well?
Well, there's not much bump to be had out there. All I can tell you is my poor dog Gus has got PTSD from that debate. You take him for a walk, he's always looking over his shoulder. That was not one of Donald Trump's finest moments. But anybody that thinks that debate is the end of this election is just wrong. Look at the polling data. There hasn't been a bump. Harris succeeded because they're not letting her out there. I mean, they are really shielding her from any kind of public scrutiny. I don't think in the long run that's good for the country, but as a matter of campaign tactic, it's good for the campaign.
2 months after former President Trump was shot during a campaign rally in Pennsylvania, little information has emerged. In a new social media post, former First Lady Melania Trump says that's not acceptable.
There is definitely more to this story, and we need to uncover the truth.
We need to know who made the decisions here, who allowed Trump to go on stage, who failed to communicate with local law enforcement while that shooter was up on the roof. Nobody so far has been held accountable, and that's outrageous.
We still know almost nothing about the 20-year-old shooter's motives. The Biden-Harris administration has not addressed what's being done about the attack. The former head of the Secret Service resigned. Another top official just retired, but no one's been fired, John. I mean, does someone need to be fired? Or
well, look, this thing was completely mishandled and almost tragic. Well, it was tragic for the people that lost their lives that day. And yes, the Secret Service has got some real accountability here. And yes, we need to know more about how the breakdowns occurred, where they occurred, why they occurred, by whom they occurred. So I think Senator Hawley's right. I think Melania Trump is right. Now, she's trying to sell a book, so you got to, but she's right. There needs to be more investigation and public disclosure on this thing.
Has the response from the Biden administration been adequate so far?
I don't know that it's Biden administration who can respond to this. I think it has to be the Secret Service and those in the Justice Department who are doing the investigation. Having said that, I'm with you guys. Why don't we know more? We should know more. This is unbelievable what this day might have been.
Yep.
Not to the root question you asked about Melania Trump. I don't like to pick on her because in many ways I think she's likely a victim. But what's gone on here is she's selling stuff. And she's come out with some other really bold stuff. Now, these are people who know how to sell junk, right? They sell digital trading cards and tennis shoes. So, of course, they're going to use whatever they can to sell their book. And that's what we're seeing in this commercial.
Still to come on Hancock and Kelly, is it art or anti-Semitism on display on the St. Louis riverfront? And our quote of the week is about that. We'll also talk about this, the takedown of a football star on his way to the stadium for a football game.